Hello and good afternoon. Welcome and thank you for joining us for Science TV Crunch News. You are with me, Elvis Odhiambo, and my sign language interpreter, Tobias Omondi. On to our first item. Health Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale has cautioned doctors employed in public hospitals against operating private clinics during official working hours, saying the habit is depriving patients of essential services. He noted that the public facilities continue to suffer as some medics prioritize private practice over the government responsibilities. Addressing residents in Tharaka Nithi County, Duale said that the conduct has weakened service delivery and aggravated persistent challenges facing the public health system. He described the practice as dishonest and intolerable, stressing that it amounts to an abuse of public trust. The health CS warned that the government will not hesitate to take action against those found engaging in the malpractice. He added that stricter oversight and accountability measures will be enforced to ensure doctors fully serve patients in public hospitals as required.
Unaenda kwa upasuaji unaambiwa rudi baada ya mwezi mbili. Okay, ukikubali daktari anakufuata nyuma anakuambia, lakini ukienda ile private hapa town nitafanya kesho. You know, don't allow to turn the county as your retention. Mahali ya kuchukua mishahara alafu unafanya biashara yako. You know, we must hii Kenya kufika Singapore na Malaysia inataka discipline. Na mimi health hii paka niweke discipline. Leo iko mama anasema katika wa mama 100 wakikuja kujifungua hospitali yake na 93 wanakuwa C-section. Hai, nikamwambia, do you read the WHO rules? Kwa sababu C-section ni 30,000 analipwa. Normal delivery ni 10,000. Sasa wamama wote wanapasuliwa.
We need to be reasonable. There is no way you can be working in Chuka Hospital where they have the best diagnostic machines, and then you take people to your clinic, then later refer them here for imaging. And then you take the results back for interpretation. It's not right. Some of that money that you earn in that way is not a blessing.
Moving on to other news, Democracy for the Citizens Party National Organizing Secretary Mithika Linturi has taken aim at Public Service Cabinet Secretary Geoffrey Ruku and Embu Governor Cecily Mbarire over their assertions that Mount Kenya East could break away from the Western Bloc and chart a separate political course. Linturi, who is the former Cabinet Secretary, dismissed the claims as misleading and warned that such narrative risk fueling division within the broader Mount Kenya region. He argued that unity remains critical as the region navigates an increasingly complex political environment. He also criticized elected leaders from Mount Kenya East, accusing them of keeping quiet as political uncertainty grows. According to Linturi, the silence of leaders has allowed confusion and infighting to take root, pushing the region closer to political instability.
Moral authority to speak for Mount Kenya East. Hauna hata ndabu, hauna hata heshima, because wewe is an hireling. You are mercenary. Sasa wewe umepewa kiti, umepigiwa kiti na watu wa mbele. Umesafu miaka 2. Umeuza kiti, umesema wacha kikae, wacha mimi nikae waziri. You have just been leadership ya kuelektiwa ya miaka 2. And you really want to come and lecture us? Kama William Ruto alisaliti Linturi, akasaliti Muturi, akasaliti Gachagua, ambaye sisi tulitoa pesa, ambayo sisi alilala manyumba yetu, tukatoa pesa, akawa rais. Who do you think you are? And I'm telling Cecily Mbarire, my good sister, huyu hata wakati unaenda, you carry an interpreter.
Moving on, the Car Importers Association of Kenya has voiced strong opposition to the draft National Automotive Industry Bill 2025, cautioning that immediate enforcement could lead to widespread job losses. The association argues that the legislation which targets older vehicles and encourages local production, should be implemented gradually to prevent disruption in the sector. Now, at a public consultation that was hosted by the Ministry of Trade in Kisumu, CIAK Chairman Peter Otieno recommended a phased approach for phasing out imported cars registered before 2019. He emphasized the need for stakeholders to have sufficient time to adapt to the proposed regulation while aligning with the government's industrialization objectives. The bill includes provision of recycling, written-off vehicles into spare parts, and steel for the automotive industry. In August, the government unveiled a 13 billion shilling affordable credit fund to support businesses in the sector.
Laws and regulations that are going to help and actually also transfer the real technology to the people, to our Kenyans, but not a law that is not transferring the technology.
We've been having a problem in Kenya concerning the bodies which are tasked to make sure that everything is at this standard within the country. So that concern of standardization must be addressed first, is when they bring this bill to us.
It's only in these regulations that can give us a room to also adjust in the standards we want to use as a country. So this bill is one of...
Moving on, ethnic minority and marginalized communities across Kenya have welcomed the president's decision to introduce a National Recognition Day and implement a policy that is aimed at supporting historically disadvantaged groups. Community leaders say that the move represents a significant step towards acknowledging their identities, challenges, and contributions to the nation. The representatives are set to meet the president at State House tomorrow on Thursday, where they plan to push for sustained inclusive policies and stronger representation of marginalized groups in governance. They argue that meaningful participation in decision-making processes is key to addressing the long-standing inequalities and ensuring equitable development.
Jamii ndogo minorities pia nazi tuwe tunawakilishwa katika jumba cha sheria katika nchi yetu.
Tunashukuru sana president wetu kwa sababu umetutambua na tunajua unatupenda. Na sisi pia tunakupenda sana president wetu.
Si wale watu hawana asanti, wakipewa vitu mingi bado hawana asanti. Sisi tunasema asanti.
Tumepigania policy ya minority and marginalized community ambayo itakuwa inatetea haki zao na iwe implemented ili hawa wanyonge ambao wametengwa na ni wachache wapate haki zao.
That there is a policy we have we have been working on it. He need to take it like his personal child, move with it and make sure it is implemented to the letter.
Preparation for the graduation, KWS Director General Professor Erastus Kanga highlighted the crucial role the officers will play in safeguarding Kenya's wildlife. He emphasized that the newly qualified staff will support both security operations and intelligence gathering in parks and conservation areas nationwide. Professor Kanga noted that the training program is part of KWS's broader strategy to strengthen anti-poaching efforts and to ensure sustainable management of the country's natural resources. The graduates are expected to be deployed immediately to various national parks and reserves to bolster protection and surveillance efforts. And with that, we come to the end of our Crunch News. Thank you so much for staying tuned. You've been with me, Elvis Odhiambo, with my sign language interpreter doing the voicing, Tobias Emoni. Have a good afternoon.